Gus and I, my brother, my partner, we took graph paper of the building and did 1-to-1 on the building and cutouts of control rooms and live rooms that we had found in that book I was talking about. Yeah. And we literally placed them
on the slab?
On the graph paper. Yeah. And then just built it like that and then chalk lined it out and then just fucking started building, dude.
No kidding.
Me and my dad and Gus just went wild.
This is Jim Bratton Podcast. You may enjoy some, or all, or none. Now, here's Jim.
Well, here we are. Volume 2 of Chris Kritikos, South Wing Studios. We talked about So You Want to Make a Record in our first session. Now let's talk of the second one. A lot of people want to build their own studios. And you go to Sweetwater or someplace, they make it look like it's easy. And it may be, but you have a for real, purpose-built, tuned studio. Now, we talked in the first session about how they went through a few iterations. Let's say when you approached your current studio, your purpose-built studio, which, by the way, is on how many acre compound do you have?
1 1/4.
God, it's the most beautiful spot. Ladies and gentlemen, it has a huge house and a purpose-built studio. It is just like you think a studio ought to be.
We got really lucky.
Well, smart, too. You happen to come from a family of very good entrepreneurs.
Wait, I didn't get a trust fund?
Oh, no, yeah, your trust fund. You're lucky to have a very entrepreneurial dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who encourages their kids to open a sound studio, for goodness sake.
Yeah, post-2008. What a good move.
Anyway, okay, you knew you were going to do a studio. Where did it go? You got the land. That's in place. So where does it go from there?
Man, we got the land. We got the idea of a studio. So we started operating out of the house again, out of my current house that I'm living in.
The big house that's on the property.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was just hitting the books, honestly, and scouring the internet for the building materials that we needed and the building. There was nothing there. We had to level out the land, cut out trees, put, I don't know, dirt work. That's what they call it.
Yeah,
we had
dirt
to do some
work.
Dirt work and
dirt
then
work,
the foundation. And that was where it started. And I had this recording architecture book that had all these amazing studios in there. And I just looked at what I liked a lot about those and figured out what we could afford and what we couldn't, and couldn't afford most of it.
Well, but
and then we went from there. Yeah.
With your South Wing training, with your full sail training, say, what you read made a lot more sense, didn't it?
Absolutely. Going to recording school was really awesome. I think I learned maybe 5-10%. You learn most on the job, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but at least
it helped me understand the concepts, though.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. You learn with the hands-on, but it doesn't hurt to have the academics in the background.
Absolutely.
Say, oh, yeah, this makes sense. All right. Scoured all the architecture magazines and came up with some ideas.
And then I ordered a 60 by 40 building from, Worldwide Steel or something like that, somewhere in Minnesota. And
one of these warehouse buildings.
It's just but it was unique in that it had 2x6 walls.
Really?
With the iron, I don't know.
Yeah, with the trusses and
right,
stuff.
there we go. Yeah, you'd know a lot more about that. But so the walls were actually 2x6s, so that helped us be able to build out a little bit easier.
So you had something to attach to.
Exactly.
And you had some wall thickness.
So we started with that, and then we put the building up, closed everything in, plywooded all the walls, and then we built rooms inside of those rooms, like inside of the large room.
When you plywooded the walls, did you put anything in the walls?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have the rock sole, I guess, the mineral fiber, and a whole bunch of Owens Corning, the pink stuff.
Wow.
I think the R value is over 60. If you look at it, there's so much stuff in there.
Really? Wow. Well, and what does that add to? That adds to the ability to absorb sound and block sound, I'm guessing, too. Then your acoustic value has to be high, too, in terms of it's a quiet space.
Oh, absolutely. It's a really quiet space. You can have a drum set and guitar amps blaring, and if you're outside, you can't hear them. So that's really good.
Yeah, no kidding. So you get your plywooded up, then what happens?
Then it was just, honestly, Gus and I, my brother, my partner, we took graph paper of the building and did 1-to-1 on the building and cutouts of control rooms and live rooms that we had found in that book I was talking about.
Yeah.
And we literally placed them
on the slab?
On the graph paper. Yeah. And then just built it like that and then chalk lined it out and then just fucking started building, dude.
No kidding.
Me and my dad and Gus just went wild.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. In between all that, we had the electrician run the rough end. And
I understand. No,
yeah, I'm not going to get into all that stuff.
It was all legal, by the way, folks.
Yes, all permitted. Harris County.
Yeah. So then you had a room with separate rooms. Had you done any acoustic treatment yet at that time? Were you recording at all then? Or
There was no recording going on in the studio. I think it took us almost 13 months of recording out of my house to try and pay for the studio. There was no traffic going on in the studio.
Wow. How sure were you of the acoustics then, and what did you do acoustic-wise? You've got a huge room there that you're going to divvy up, but the same kind of rules that you apply would apply to somebody that's trying to do an upstairs garage apartment or something, right?
We tried to stay away from any parallel walls, the obvious stuff, and then there is just so much 703 in between the walls, the Owens Corning 703, but actually between the exterior and the interior walls. And then after we actually got the whole space up and going, we needed a bunch more treatment than we thought as well, so that took a lot of 703. It's a bunch of 703.
Did you build a lot of your own bass traps and stuff like that, or absorbers or frequency-based absorbers? Or?
I think besides the real traps that you gave me, we built every bit of it.
Wow.
So we didn't want to use any of the RLX, or we couldn't afford to order
that's the real traps you can move them around.
Oh, those are around my drum set right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to hear that, by the way.
That's been almost 10 years, man. And all the materials I got, the DIY stuff was from ATS Acoustics. Those guys are awesome. You can get them on the phone and they'll talk to you.
Really? Mm-hmm. And so you built your own traps and stuff from there then?
And then I'm, again, not a professional acoustician, but we did the best that we could. And we measured and we...
Do you have, once you began to tune up your room, let's say you've got the control room separate, and it's tuned for a listening room. Yeah. You got some acoustic treatment there. You've got the big room, and then with a vocal booth / voiceover booth off to the side then. Let's talk about the main room then. What did you do? I guess, how did you begin to tune that? What happened the first time you recorded in there?
It was a fucking nightmare, dude. It was so reflective. We got it eventually, but it was a highly reflective. It's a 1,200 square foot room with 26-foot ceilings, and it was
lots of corners.
Lots of corners. Yeah, no parallel walls, lots of corners, and then 64 square feet of glass.
Wow! But at least you didn't have parallel walls. That would have made it even incredible. But I'm guessing you still had some bass notes in the corner and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That you had to
and even up until recently, there was like a 350 or 400 hertz just thing that was happening
somewhere.
Yeah, that we finally figured that out. It was actually coming from the wall that was adjacent to the control room.
You have a frequency meter that you can walk around with, or a test meter, or a test microphone. Am I right that one of your post-production things, or one of your recording apps, lets you dial in the room? Did I see you do that on something where you can actually put in where the reflections are and that kind of thing? And
I use the SonarWorks.
Yeah.
So that one's really good. It's affordable. I don't know if it's like the top tier thing, but it definitely works great. And it tells you where your problem areas are, and then I use that to treat more too. So if I see a huge cut or dip in 100 hertz, then I know there's a problem there that I'm going to address in the room instead of relying on the software to correct it.
Can you at least, with the software, can you identify where that frequency sort of node is?
Absolutely, yeah. It gives you all sorts of awesome
So you
readouts.
can actually, then you can walk in with a test mic then or something, and at that spot?
It comes with its own reference microphone. This particular one is geared towards the listening spot, the SonarWorks one.
Okay. But you've turned it into using it for the studio purposes as well then.
I look at the data that it gives me, and then, I can diagnose where the problem areas are easier.
You've built it, and you've got it tuned up. How'd you get your first clients?
My friends. I've been playing in bands since I was 14 or 15, and I beg my friends to come and record and give me some money to try and pay the bills.
When did you move on from, say, garage bands?
The shift was probably 2015 or 2016, after I cut my teeth a little bit, because I had to learn.
Yeah, and now you've done national stuff. You've done international stuff.
Yes.
You've gone on the road as an engineer, as I understand. And to Latin America?
Yeah, I've been to Colombia. We went to Estudios Audio Vision. It was a beautiful facility. Did a record there. I've been to Brooklyn. Studio G is magnificent there. My buddy Joel Hamilton's the owner, and I got to assist him there for a bit.
Well, I'm not asking you to toot your own horn too hard, but let me ask you. Not everybody gets invited to somebody else's studio across the country or in another country to mix.
Sure. Man, I feel really lucky to be able to do that. And I'm glad I was prepared enough.
What's it like doing songs for a band that you know is going to make it, or that has made it, or that comes into you? They've already got successful songs out there, and they come to you and they want you to work their next album.
It scares the shit out of me, so I have to try like really hard because I want to make sure that whatever we do is going to be elevated from what they have done.
It doesn't hurt to be a little bit anxiety-driven, does it?
Not at all, man. I'm constantly shooting from the hip. Half the time I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Chris Kritikos, once again, I could keep asking questions, suggestions for somebody who thinks they're going to build a little studio or a big studio. Thoughtful, that's okay.
Give me a moment to think about
put
that.
Put some thought into it.
The obvious one is be prepared to spend double.
Okay.
On whatever you have budgeted, unless you are an accountant. Just maintain really good relationships with all your people, especially if you're trying to build a studio. Like, I want my clients to be lifetime clients. Okay. I don't ever want them going anywhere else. And it happens, but keep the clients, support them, support their art.
Yeah, good for you. I see that you do that, by the way. I see your social media and everything, and you really are out there supporting both the craft, the art, and the artists.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
You're right. Everybody thinks they can. Chris Kritikos, it has been a delight. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thanks so much, man.
This is the Jim Bratton Podcast.
This has been Jim Bratton Podcast. We hope you have enjoyed, been inspired, informed, angered, or otherwise emotionally stimulated. This is your booth announcer, Sierra Sakel.